Alright, I'm trying something new with this. Don't know if I'm meant to have like a script for these sort of things. I'm just kind of just making it up on the spot. I kind of wanted to start doing some like commentary stuff. And like one topic I just came up with, I thought talking about like jump scares in movies would be pretty cool. So I just got like a little list together and I'm gonna just run through it real quick. Horror is probably my favorite genre of movie, even though typically they're pretty shit, to be honest. It's like a 1 in 10 chance you're actually gonna get a decent movie, but a lot of the movies on this list as well actually aren't that good. I just kind of like the scares in them. For the first one though, I'm looking at Insidious. The first two actually. The first two movies, probably some of my favorites, at least like in the genre. I think they're pretty good. If you were to Google best jump scares, one of the first ones that always comes up is the one from the first Insidious, where the demon pops up behind Patrick Wilson, and it's done like really well because it's like the camera's slowly zooming into them. They're just having a normal conversation, and it's kind of like getting a little intense, and then out of nowhere, dude's just sitting right behind him.
I said, "What do you want?" It said Dalton. I can still hear that voice.
What?
And it's like, oh my god, holy shit, But I'm pretty sure at this point in the movie you haven't seen what the demon actually looks like. But you get the shot just before that of like the silhouette of it, and there's a real lanky arms and like long fingers and stuff. Honestly, I'd already like seen this before watching the movie, so I kind of knew what to expect when it came up, so it wasn't as much of a jump scare, I guess. Honestly, the part I thought was like scariest in the movie was at the end, which I'm not going to play because it kind of spoils it. This one's the most iconic scare. I'll give you one from a Batman movie. Yeah, that's right, Batman. Harvey Dent and the other guy who I don't know what the fuck his name is, but there's the two of them just talking about whatever. Pretty unassuming scene.
You better be, because they get anything on you. And those criminals are back on the streets, followed swiftly by you and me.
The Dark Knight, I think, off the top of my head, came out in 2009. I remember watching it when I was probably way too young to watch it. There was like these teenagers who I don't know who they are now, but these teenagers who were like babysitting me as like a wee little lad. They decided to watch the new Batman movie because, I was just sitting there watching it. I'd like vaguely have images of what Two-Face looked like in the movie, and it kind of like sat with me because that was kind of fucked up to see as a kid. It has some pretty dark imagery in it, but that was just the interlude because now I'm back to Insidious with Insidious Chapter 2. Chapter 2, which I think is also a pretty good movie, but I don't think it was received as well. You've got Rose Byrne's character. Again, don't know the character's name. I probably could have done a little bit of like research before doing this, or write a script. But they've got a infant daughter. They've got a infant child who's just disappearing around the house. She doesn't know what's going on. She's freaking out. She runs downstairs, and
Kelly! 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 My baby, Kelly! Kelly! Don't you dare!
when I watched it, did kind of get me because I didn't know it was coming. In hindsight, when you know the scare's coming, it does look a little goofy because like the way it cuts, like smash cuts on the lady's face. She backhands her off the floor into the sky through a table. Is kind of crazy, so it's quite loud too when she's like screaming at her. I'm done with Insidious now. I'll do the one from It Follows. There's two I remember from the movie. One later on than this scene where there's like a little boy going through like a garden shed or something, or like a doggy door or something. I might play that real quick. I haven't actually rewatched the scene. In It Follows, there's an entity following the main character the entity is able to change its appearance to look like different people, but only the person who it's following can see the entity and who they're like appearing as. Quite early in the movie, when the other characters around the protagonist don't know what's actually going on. As like someone watching it, there's like this sense of anxiety because no one can really help her because she's like the only one who can see it, and you don't know if one of the other characters that are with her is actually the thing following her or not. The other friend or sister or whoever she is knocks on the door, but the other characters who don't know what's going on just immediately open the door. They see it's their friend, and for a second you're like, oh, okay, you know, it's just another one of the friends coming through the door.
Mom, is that you?
No, it's me.
Yara?
Yeah.
Don't open the door! See? Everything's okay. What are you doing?
This giant man, he's got like these, you can't even like see his eyes stuck in this room, and the guy is, this giant man is taking up the whole door frame, so she ends up having to run out the window and like going down the fire escape or whatever the hell. It's a pretty good movie that just has like the simple premise of there's just this one thing slowly following the main character, or anyone who has like this curse that the main character has, and you know it's like always following you, but you lose track of when and where it is, and it's not particularly fast either. It's just like this ever-looming threat that you kind of have to live with. So I saw this one coming up as a jump scare, but it is like one of the best scenes in the movie, and it is, I mean, it is a bit of a jump scare as well. But in the movie 7, like the general premise is that there's a killer committing 7 murders that like follow the 7 deadly sins and like what each one represents. There's a whole crew of police and detectives coming into this room where the suspect had been living, or at least they think he had been living there for some time. Find this body who they think he's been like dehydrated for like a year, and he's in this horrendous state. Everyone in the room, the audience, thinks this guy isn't alive, but then
It's dated exactly 1 year ago today.
I got a hair sample, I got a stool sample, I got piss, I got fingernails.
He's laughing at us. You got what you deserved.
He's alive! He's alive! The cocksucker's alive!
then he kind of just jolts alive for a second. It's not like the shock of the context of the scene where you don't assume that this guy is still alive. In the movie prior to this moment has basically just been them finding crime scenes of murders taking place, so that's why it kind of catches you off guard a little bit. Pretty good movie though. I think I said something at the beginning about these not all being great movies. I think I might have to take that back there. But this next movie, The Exorcist 3, I've never actually watched the movie. I've seen the scene a lot. It always comes up, and this jump scare has always stuck with me. I don't know what is even happening in the scene, or who is the character, who's the other character. I don't know what's going on. Never seen the movie. The scene is just, it hits me. The way the music comes in with the camera zooming in and then the character quickly moving. I'll just quickly play the clip. You probably already know it anyway. It's like one of the most famous ones. Fuck me. Even hearing that audio kind of like hits my soul a little bit. I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what it is. But the scene is so drawn out, and then it just quickly hits you, and then immediately cuts to like this statue without its head, and then the message is, you understand exactly what just happened, and it's just, yeah, that one fucks with me. I don't know what it is. It's just, both the visual and audio component of it is just like, just so creepy. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's enough. I might do another one, but you know, we did a couple from Insidious, did that Exorcist 3 one. I probably should watch that movie at some point. I don't know if it's any good, but we did It Follows and The Dark Knight. So what, only 5 movies? Yeah, that's only 5 movies. You know what, I'll throw in a bonus one. I know, Insidious 1, Insidious 2, 7, Dark Knight, It Follows, Exorcist 3. That's 6 movies. That's a lot of movies. I'll throw in In The Descent, you kind of know something bad's going to happen. I mean, it's a horror movie and they're in a cave, so like that's kind of given. But the monsters of the movie are these cave-dwelling, humanoid-looking things, slimy, ghoulish-looking, goblin-looking, troll-looking thing, and you're kind of just waiting for something bad to happen naturally. The characters are using like night vision, looking around from character to character, and then it shifts to one of them, and all of a sudden there's something standing right behind her. Real spooky looking. The audio is also kind of spooky, you know, it's the yeah. The only thing I don't really like is how it immediately goes to from the night vision mode to how it normally looks, and it's kind of like lit better than the night vision thing, which doesn't make any sense. You just see it just run across in like full lighting. I'm just complaining about something that means nothing to me really, so I'm just whatever, who cares? I'm really just making this up on the spot. The Exorcist 3 one's the best one. I like the Insidious movies though. Insidious 1 and 2, just really like those movies. I don't really know why, they're just cool. Patrick Wilson's good. I like that guy. Oh yeah, just on a tangent about the Insidious movies, the twist villain kind of thing at the end, this is a spoiler for the first Insidious, I will now say, the, I think her name's Lady in Black, it's like this, well it's a guy, but he's, well you figure out it's a guy, but he's in this makeup, this wig, he's just real, it's just real creepy looking, it's just like, when you find out that it's actually taken over Patrick Wilson's character at the end, and there's just this moment where it's like real quiet. The revelation is made, and you see like the photo of it that Lin Shaye takes, and it's just this woman just standing there like that. That shit, I have the mental image in my head of that. That was fuck with me. I don't know if that's a jump scare. That just fucked with me a little bit. And then the second movie, maybe I like it so much because that is like the main antagonist of it is that lady. She's just really, really scary. I don't know. And then in that movie, there's like the scene where they go to the old house because obviously this lady in black is dead, but it used to be like a serial killer. And then they find all the corpses in like a hidden room. And they're all like with like these, they've all got like these plastic covers on them, and they're just sitting there like in this weird church looking room. They're all just sat up sitting there. Yeah, I don't know, that shit is, it's just kind of fucked up.